Hello friends, and welcome back to Picture Astrology. Today we will talk about retrogression of planets, and currently in the zodiac, two of the the most slowest moving planets, Saturn and Jupiter, they both are in the retrograde motion. So I thought it is the best time to create a series on retrogression and also share with you a piece of wisdom which has been shared with me by my great grandfather, which is absolutely unknown about retrogression, and that could actually open up a whole new window about how we look at retrograde planets. So to begin with, in this video I will talk about the basics of retrogression and basically what it means from the astronomical and mathematical point of view. So let's begin. So generally speaking, retrogression is the phenomena which we have also observed in common day-to-day lives. Say if you are sitting in a train, this is your train, the black colored train, and the train is standing on the platform. It is standstill. And while that is the case, there is another train on the side, and suppose this train starts moving slowly towards the right. Now your train is actually standing still, but if you look at the window towards this train, you will feel as if your train has suddenly started moving in the right direction, in the opposite direction. So this relative motion, or the feeling of relative motion, not because your own train is moving, but because some other object, in whose perspective you are viewing the motion, that object is moving, you feel like your own object, which is stationary actually, is moving towards right. So this relative motion is basically, when it happens in the zodiac, when it happens in the planets, that motion is called retrograde. So actually there is no retrograde motion. Retrograde means opposite. So which basically means if usually the planets move like this, which is say from Aries to Taurus sign, in retrogression this process becomes reverse, meaning the planet can move from Taurus to Aries. So in reality the planet will not be moving, but we will have a feeling, it will give an impression that the planets are moving towards the sign prior to it. So let's draw the zodiac and let's see how exactly it happens with an example of say Saturn. So first of all, in our zodiac we obviously have Sun, which is right at the center of the zodiac. So here is my Sun. Now planets move around Sun in an elliptical order or elliptical orbit. So let's say here, let me draw our small blue planet, which is the Earth. So let me draw a blue planet here, which is Earth. Now let me draw a larger orbit, which will be of Saturn. So if you see here, let's say this. So let me make quickly the black color planet Saturn. So assume that we have like this. So this is Saturn. So now, as you can see, we have Sun at the center of the zodiac, and we have Earth, which is the blue planet, which is moving in this direction, and we have Saturn, the black planet, also moving in this direction. Now for the sake of simplicity, I will draw the reference points, the reference in which we will be viewing the motion, which is basically the zodiac signs. So it's a very simplified diagram. So let me draw real quick something like this. So suppose we have 1, 2. Let's say this part of the zodiac is Aries, and let's just say the next part of the zodiac is Taurus sign, and the zodiac or the part before Aries is the Pisces sign. So now I have, if you see, I have clearly drawn this. Now at this particular point, if you see, we are at Earth, we will see the Saturn in the backdrop of Aries sign. You see, if you look at Saturn from Earth at this particular point of time, we will see Aries as the background, meaning Saturn is in the sign of Aries. Now, the orbital motion, basically the speed with which Earth moves around the Sun and the speed with which Saturn moves around the Sun are very different. So Earth completes one round of Sun in 1 year, right, which is about 365 days. Whereas Saturn completes the same one round around Sun in approximately 27.5 years. So you can see that the speed or velocity of Saturn is 27 times slower than that of Earth. So what it means is, say after some time, after a couple of months, Earth moves from this position and it comes all the way up to here. So now in the same time, when the Earth has crossed quite a lot of zodiac belt, at the same time Saturn would have crossed very little. If you see, Saturn might have just ended up being here, and maybe not even this much, but for our example purpose, let's say Saturn moved this much. So this was our first position of Earth. At the same time Saturn was here. This is the second position of Earth. At that time Saturn was here. Now if you see from this position, see where Saturn is. If you draw this line directly, you will find that the Saturn is actually, or it will feel like that the Saturn is actually in the sign of Pisces. Now actually the Saturn has not moved backwards. Saturn, if you see, has actually displaced in the forward direction, in the direction which obviously it moves little bit. But because Earth has moved so much that the background or the sign in which Saturn appears to be has shifted. So from the position of Earth, it seems like instead of moving forward, Saturn has actually moved backwards. So this is the impression we get from Earth. Now you have clearly seen that in zodiac, in reality, Saturn is still moving forward, and this phenomena is called retrogression, which by definition means the appearance of planets going backward in their orbital motion with respect to Earth. Now this phenomena happens with all the planets except the Sun and the Moon, and the basic reason for that is that Sun and the Moon have a fixed orbital motion around Earth, and we will see, maybe I'll make a quick video about that also. But every other planet will experience this retrograde motion sometime or the other in its journey in the zodiac, and this retrograde motion actually has a very, very subtle impact on the kind of results a planet gives, both in horoscope analysis and also while analyzing transits. How they when people give effects of transit, when a particular planet becomes from direct motion to retrograde motion, there are subtle, minor, but very, very meaningful impact of these motion changes. So what are those changes? What are the qualities which we can apply or which we can associate with this retrograde motion? We will see in the next videos. So until then, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and share the video and put in your comments and questions in the comments box. So until the next video, all of you have a great time. Bye bye.